blood. You got it! We're going to kickstart some hearts. Give me a round of applause for the powerlifters. The bars are
Ladies
loaded.
and gentlemen, welcome back to our second session of the final day of the 2025 USA Powerlifting Raw Nationals Championship here in the Atlanta, Georgia International Convention Center. My name is Kevin Serrano, and I'm here joined by Alexander Walters, and we will be taking you all through the commentary as we get started with the action on platforms 1 and 2.
Thank you for the introduction, Kevin. Opening attempt on platform 1 for Jenny Schneider was no good, 2-1. And we have Royce Saunders opening up at 100 kilos on platform 2, a Masters 4 lifter.
For all of you joining in the stream, these are our heavy hitters, the big boys, the biggest weight we'll see shifted in the regular session. We have our men's 125, 140, and 140 plus. So our three of the heaviest weight classes in the weight classes available here in USA Powerlifting. So we will be some of the biggest numbers hit just across the board, our biggest squats, benches, and deadlifts that we've seen thus far.
As Zachary George opens up with 205 kilos on platform 1, 3 white lights for him. And Christopher Allen on platform 2 opening at 192.5 kilos. We've got a mix of age groups. We've got lifters all the way down in the teens, all the way up to Masters 4 in this session. Masters 4 being in their 70s. Depth looks good for Chris Allen on platform 2, and I'm correct, 3 white lights. Cody Sines on platform 1, 220 kilos for a teen 3. And Edward North, 215 kilos on platform 2 for a Masters 2.
Cody Sines with the very speedy 220, just shy of 500 pounds.
Big fan of that mullet, too. Very controlled squat for Edward. 3 white lights on his opener.
Up until this point, our spotters and loaders have worked about 10 sessions already prior to this. And so now they are spotting the heaviest session of the day. So this is really going to be just a true testament on how much endurance they are just putting out throughout this entire weekend.
I do think it's kind of interesting we choose to save the heaviest sessions for the end.
I think it just builds the anticipation of just waiting and being eager to see the heaviest weights being shifted.
Fong Win on platform 2, 220 kilo opener, 3 white lights for him. Meanwhile, Evan Wessels on platform 1 was successful with his opener at 230 kilos.
Ian McCain, 232.5. Very deep squat for Ian. Let's see what the referees say. Pretty sure it's 3 whites.
Chris Delacarpini on platform 2, 225 kilos. 3 white lights for Chris. Bars loaded for Lee Wells on platform 1, 247.5 on his opening attempt. Masters 1, 125 kilos. And Charles Van Valkenburg opening at 240 kilos on platform 2. Same weight, but just an age group up in the Masters 2. Good lift on 1 for Lee Wells, 2-1. Charles stands up his opening attempt. 3 white lights for Charles. Opening on platform 1, my fellow Michigander, Mark Leonard, 260 kilos. And Todd Hale on platform 2 at 252.5 kilos.
Very deep squat for Mark Leonard. As well for Todd Hale. I mean, these guys got a huge range of motion. These are our tallest guys we are seeing compete, and they are squatting to death. No reds so far on our side.
Jude Coleswell on platform 1 and William Chapman on platform 2. Both hitting their openers at 285 kilos. Jude, a Team 3 lifter. Pretty in sync, both some pretty easy opening attempts there. 3 white lights on both. Another Team 3 lifter on platform 1, Stephen Roundtree at 290 kilos. And on platform 2, Malik Smith will open at 295 kilos.
If you notice over on platform 2, Malik Smith has elected to move the uprights of the rack in. This is an option lifters have for those people who have those wide grips. I mean, we see Malik Smith, he's placing his hands just outside of those, just inside of those plates all the way to the end of the bar. That is allowed in the sport, and that just avoids his hands coming into contact with that rack when he walks it back in and out.
Stephen, 3 white lights for his opener attempt. I'm not sure Malik could get much lower than that. Depth looked great, 3 white lights.
And just diving a little deeper into the technicalities of the squat, I mean, both you and I just became USA Powerlifting Category 2 international referees as of yesterday and
Friday?
Friday. Thursday, yeah. So we are we moved up in ranking. We were both national referees, and we are now both Category 2 referees. And so, Alex, talk to me a little bit more about what are the commands and what are the referees looking for in the squat.
So the commands are pretty straightforward. There's only 2. After the bar is called loaded, which I don't count as a command, you have 1 minute to walk out the bar. Once you get into a set starting position, you will receive the start command. You will squat to depth. You will return upright, be locked out, and then you'll receive the rack command. The things we're looking for, obviously we're looking for squat depth. We're making sure that you're in a correct starting position. We're making sure your feet aren't moving. And I'd say last, we're trying to make sure that there's no up and down movement of the bar during your attempt.
And unfortunately, Isaac Deporche on platform 1 has timed out. So once that bar is called loaded, lifters have 60 seconds to receive that start command. And Isaac on platform 1 was unable to receive that start command. He was walking out that lift, but that timer ran out before the referee could initiate the lift with the start. And already on the openers, Christian Burns with an American record attempt, 325 for the Team 3 lifter.
716 pounds, the opening attempt for a teenager. This is pretty remarkable stuff. 716 as an opener.
This kid is 19 years old, squatting over 700 pounds for an opener.
And it moved like an opener.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm curious to see the depth call. It looked pretty close from the camera, but he gets 3 white lights.
3 white lights.
Royce Saunders had a couple infractions on his opening attempts. Was able to stand that one up. And 3 white lights. Royce is on the board.
Similarly, Jennings Schneider on platform 1 missed his opening attempt of 195, but has elected to jump 20 kilos to 215.
He missed it 2-1 with 2 yellow cards, so I'm led to believe that he jumped one of his commands. It is pretty loud over there, so it's not uncommon for one of the side officials or both to not be able to hear the commands.
It is one of those situations where he did get the weight up. It wasn't a strength issue, just missed it on a technicality that can easily be fixed. So he is likely opting to go up to his planned second attempt.
Ooh, not able to stand up the second at 215.
And that is one of the situations you really hate to see here, when a lifter misses their opener, decides to go up to their planned second attempt, and misses that one on strength. And so now Jennings is in a very difficult situation here where he has to retake a weight he had just previously missed for his third attempt.
Couple of 15-kilo increases on both platforms. Zachary George up to 215 and Ed North up to 230. Nice controlled squat for Ed. Small grind, able to stand it up.
As the same for Mr. Zachary George, that 215 looked easy. He gets 2-1, good lift.
Got called for depth from the right side. One of the luxuries that Kevin and I have is, since we're both fairly experienced referees, and also not to brag, the 2 youngest category referees for USA Powerlifting, as neither of us are 30 yet, but one of us is getting close, won't say which one. It's we have a bit of a luxurious situation here, because when we're watching these, we're also judging the lift, so we're kind of thinking what the officials might be able to see. It's just nice to have the additional perspective on what's happening.
And to a degree, there's almost some validity in being able to kind of judge a lift and being able to kind of go against what the call was made on the platform. I mean, it definitely is a perspective thing. We are applying the rules to these lifters, so it is a subjective thing. So we are just observing these lifts just as our referees on the platform are as well.
Fong Nguyen on platform 2, second attempt. He's up 17.5 kilos, 237.5 kilos on the bar. And Ian McCain, a teen 2, doesn't look like a teen 2, 242.5. Three white lights for Fong. Pretty solid second attempt there from Ian. Depth looked all right. He kind of did a stutter at the start. Got to wait on the controller to connect.
I think from a commentator's perspective, this is my favorite session to commentate. I mean, it's just so impressive seeing all these big weights being thrown down. It just, my mind can't grasp it.
It is a no lift for Ian on platform 1, 2-1 no lift on depth. Charles Van Valkenburg, 255 for his second attempt. Charles getting pretty low there.
Evan Wessels on platform 1, 15-kilo jump to 245.
3 whites for Charles. Let's see the call on Evans. Depth was close, but his elbows were kind of blocking my view. 2-1, good lift. One thing I do like about the session, as the weight classes go up, so do the jumps. 17.5 kilo increase for Lee Wells from his first to his second. That's not uncommon in these weight classes. Todd Hale up 10 to 262.5. I remember his opener looking real easy for him. A little bit tougher.
But definitely not a limit lift for Todd Hale. He gets 3 white lights.
I think he's poised to go over 600 pounds on his third.
Lee Wells is up next, a 17.5 kilo jump for the Master 1 lifter.
William Chapman, 20 kilo increase to 305, 671 pounds. Lee Wells making pretty good work of that 265. Waiting on one light though. 3 white lights for Lee. Chapman's second attempt looked like his opener. 3 whites.
Mark Leonard on platform 1, crossing the 600-pound mark with a 272.5 kilo squat for his second attempt.
Mark crossing over the 600-pound mark. Undeniable depth on that one. 3 white lights for Mark, and we're over 700 pounds on platform 2 for Caleb Woodard. It's crazy to me when people move 700 pounds that easily. 3 white lights for Caleb. Isaac out to retake his opener. Isaac actually timed out his opening attempt. Isaac in the Masters 125 category, currently projected first when he hits this.
Very deep squat for Isaac.
It's kind of a shame he timed out that opener. I'd be curious to see just how far he could push it. Malik Smith, 320 kilos on platform 2, up 25 from his opener. 706, I think. 706, 707, something like that. Not quite there on his second, but he will have another opportunity to retake that. Jude Colesel, platform 1, 305. That didn't even look hard.
Yeah, I mean, and after taking a 20-kilo jump, it looked like it could have been an opener as well.
Jude is both 18 and in the open. Currently sitting pretty well in the open. Granted, we're only through 2 rounds of squats. It's kind of interesting, though, because Jude is a teen, he's on the platform with the rest of the teens, so he might have a disadvantage or maybe even a slight advantage over all the other open competitors on platform 2.
Depending on the pacing of the platforms. I mean, Stefan might be lifting before or after some of his competitors, so maybe when it comes down to the final deadlift, maybe some of the coaches are going to have to be looking at multiple platforms at a time.
And that's a tricky thing to do. Sometimes it's hard to keep up with your own platform, let alone your neighbors.
And as a reminder for those watching from home. This is a 4-platform competition. This is 4 days, 4 platforms, 3 sessions per day. We have over almost 900 lifters at this competition.
I think it's our second largest competition in USA Powerlifting, only behind collegiates.
I mean, Raw Nationals and Collegiate Nationals are the largest events hosted by USA Powerlifting.
Probably the largest powerlifting events held on earth.
I think this past Collegiate was one of the largest, right?
Yeah, I think it was north of 1,300. And that event's crazy loud the entire time. Royce Saunders out to take his third and final squat at 105. Charles Van Valkenburg elected to scratch his third squat. Christian Behrens on platform 1, 340 kilos.
And Royce Saunders on platform 2 is 72 years old. What an impressive feat on its own to just be on the platform lifting at his age. I mean, just what a veteran in the sport.
Christian's waiting on those lights, but I don't think he's going to like them. The view from the camera angle, it looked high to me.
And a fist bump from Gino on platform 2.
Yeah, 2-to-1 no lift for Christian on platform 1. He moved it well. I think he's strong enough to do it even if he gets to depth. I imagine he's going to retake that 340 here in just a moment. Chris Allen standing up 205, which he missed on his second. 3 white lights this time. And all right, Kevin, we have a pretty critical lift here already in the Teen 2 category. Jennings Schneider needs 215 to move.
Misses opener on a technicality, but then jumped 20 kilos and missed it on strength. Can he recoup and hit it again on the third?
Looks like he's going to stand it up, wait for the rack.
Depth looked pretty good. And Jennings Schneider stays in the meet.
3 white lights for Jennings. Successful with 215. A little bit of a risky way to get there, but he eventually got there.
Yeah, and when you say risk, what does that risk mean, right? So what was Jennings at risk for when it came to missing this last squat?
So Jennings, fortunately, he got the third attempt, but he was at risk of bombing out of the competition, which isn't the technical term. But if you don't complete a successful attempt in any of the 3 disciplines, you don't post a total, which means you aren't eligible for awards or placing.
So Jennings, after having completed that third round of squat, he is now going to move on to the bench press event when we move on to that, and he will be able to post a total so long as he gets a successful bench and deadlift, along with all these other lifters.
And looking at Jennings' competition, he is going head-to-head with Ian McCain, and depending on how lifts go, it's a pretty close battle, 1-2. So it's really important that those two continue to make good attempts. Chris Delacarpini standing up to 247.5 kilos. 3 white lights for Christopher. Pretty good start on his day as he and both Edward North, who went just before him, start their days 3 for 3 on squat. Zachary George has also gone 3 for 3, hitting 230 on his third attempt.
Fong Nguyen taking a 12.5 kilo jump, 250 kilos, 551 pounds.
And we got Cody Sines, 240 on 1.
No question about depth on that one for Cody.
Very controlled squat for Fong. 3 white lights for Mr. Nguyen. All right, here's the other Teen 2 lifter that we were talking about in that battle with Jennings Schneider. Ian McCain missed his second attempt, elected to go up 2.5 kilos to 245. No doubt on depth. That should give him a pretty sizable advantage for the rest of the day, and it does. 2 white lights.
And with that, Ian McCain just leads over Jennings Snyder by just 10 kilos between the two based on forecasted total. So expect a big battle for the Team 2 lifters in the 125 class.
Todd Hale, a picture-perfect third attempt. Only went up 5 kilos. Wasn't looking to break that 600-pound barrier, but he does get 3 white lights.
And he is forecasted well ahead of the other Master 2 lifters, also in the 125 class. He's currently nominated and has a forecasted total of 717.5 kilos.
Evan Wessels, a Team 3 lifter on Platform 1. 260 kilos, a pretty predictable 15-kilo increase from his second.
I think that one might be high.
Yeah, he's gonna stand it up, but he's not gonna like the call on it. Yeah, 3 reds. Called on depth. I think he knows it. William Chapman on Platform 2, up 12.5 kilos. Looking to be right at 700 pounds. I don't ever like to round up, but it's 0.03 short, so I'll just do that for this one. Depth is great, and a great battle. 2-to-1, good lift for William Chapman on 2. Lee Wells, Platform 1, 275 kilos or 606 pounds. Depth looked good to me.
And with that, Lee Wells is setting himself up to apply very good upward pressure towards Isaac, who is currently your leader, but Lee Wells is trailing right behind him, just 17.5 kilos behind him forecasted.
Malik Smith out to retake his second attempt at 320 kilos.
Looked a bit deeper this time around. Let's see if that satisfies the referees, and it does. 3 white lights.
That's incredible. That's like the 3rd or 4th time today we've seen somebody miss a second attempt on strength and come back to get it on their 3rd. Mark Leonard on Platform 1, up 5 kilos to 277.5. Absolutely dunks it. Should be 3 whites there for Mark. Oh, no. 2-to-1, no lift. You got a red card from the right side and a yellow from the center judge. Here's what I think that one was. I think after he got the start, he let go of the bar. I'm actually surprised that got called. I'm not sure who the chief referee is, but that's not one that gets seen very often.
And he is handled by Dane Roach, so of course he's going to go to the jury and contest that lift.
I thought depth was great, so I wouldn't have been shocked if it was a 2-to-1. I think it's Wes Zunker as the chief. Brendan Harrigan on Platform 2, 332.5.
And what a grind by Brendan, but unable to get it past that sticking point.
And then we've got Isaac on 1, 312.5 kilos.
Despite having missed his opener on timing out, he still ends up with a massive 312.5 kilo squat, and he is leading his division in the Masters 1 125 class.
That's a pretty good battle as well.
Absolutely.
There's some tight numbers up at the top. Mark Leonard is in 3rd, and it looks to be about 40 kilos projected total, but I know he takes large jumps. Stephen Roundtree on Platform 1 at 317.5. Gino blocking our view of Caleb Woodard.
Again, this is Stephen Roundtree is a teen, but also registered in the Open. So as Caleb Woodard is going, the coaches are going to have to be looking at both platforms if they want to see what Stephen Roundtree is going to be doing. I mean, he's currently forecasted in a really good spot in the Open.
Wow, he's forecasted leader in the Open?
Yeah, actually, he's a teenager forecasted as, #1 in the Open category with a 852.5 kilo total after this 3-for-3 performance in the squats.
And then third in the Open right now is projected the other team that's about to come up, Jude Kozel.
Yeah, I mean, these coaches are going to have a tough time watching over these teens. And Tomas Zayas, better known as Chocolate Climax, is coming up on platform 2, 277.5, opening for flight D squats.
I told him to hit us with a Go Birds on his way out. Jude Kozel, 320, 705. Why is that so easy for that kid? I think there was a legitimate 10 to 15 more kilos in that squat.
And to be having a squat move that fast and be nominated third on the forecasted is insane.
Tomas did it. He racks it and he yells, "Go Birds" to the crowd. Tomas, a pretty decent friend of Kevin and I. He's also from Chicago, like my man Kevin here.
And also a USA Powerlifting referee, so also another individual who loves to give back to the sport.
All right, platform 1, a teen 3 in the 125. Christian Behrens is going to retake 340 kilos. He got called for depth on his second.
We're getting word that on platform 1, this is a team 3 lifter attempting a world record squat of 340 kilos.
He moved it well on his second, just cut it high. Depth looks better. We're going to have to see the call on it. I'm iffy on it. He moved it really well, though. 3 white lights for Christian Behrens.
And a new world record for the young man.
Jean Laguerre on platform 2, 280 kilos. 280 kilos was also the opener for Kyle Gisto. Platform 1 seems to be an interesting situation. I think Oliver Buckner might be a little injured. His deadlift and squat opener are both listed at 75 kilos, but his bench opener is 190. Yeah, he looked to be in discomfort there.
Even coming up on that squat, he did kind of have a bit of a shift on his life side.
So probably injured, just looking to put up a big number in the bench. Gene's opener was good on 2. Zach Brown taking 290 for his opener on 2. That looked easy. Team 3 lifter Noah Verduccio, 220 kilos. Depth was no issue for Noah. Trevor Burgess taking 305. No problem there. Sean Essig on platform 1, 220 kilos for his opening attempt. Masters 2 lifter in the 140 category. Sean moving that very well. Two reds, though, called for depth from the center and left referee for Sean.
Jihad Anderson, 310 for his opening squat.
Might have got kicked forward a little bit on that. Wasn't too bad. 3 white lights for Jihad. C. Francis on platform 1, opening at 240 kilos. I hope I'm pronouncing that name right.
Could be Shay.
He could be. I'll have to ask him in between disciplines. 3 white lights for him regardless. Caleb Bicknell. 315 kilos.
That is a fast squat
Yeah.
for Caleb.
Crashed it into the hole, flies right up. Christian Santiago opening at 252.5 kilos on platform 1.
Team 3 lifter.
That was ridiculously quick. 3 white lights for Christian. Joshua Price opening at 705 pounds in the 140 kilo open category. 140 is the 308 weight class. And we've got Benjamin Yoder opening at 270 kilos on platform 1. Also in the 140 class, but in the junior age category.
And a very comfortable squat for Joshua Price. He gets 3 white lights. Yeah, Benjamin Yoder dunks that squat, 270 kilos, just shy of 600 pounds. And a very similar situation like we saw with our teens. Adrian Thomas is registered in the junior division and will be lifting on platform 1, but he is also entered in the open. And he's one of our top contenders in the open class. He is currently, with his, based off his openers, nominated in 3rd place. And it's looking to be an exciting battle in the open.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if there's anybody in the prime time later tonight that is in that category. I'm going to look that up right now. We've got 2 that appear to be Alejandro Wickham and Justin Odom. So it looks like it's going to be a battle for the podium spots in that men's Raw Open 140 class. Tomas successful with his 2nd attempt of 290 kilos on platform 2. Chris Berry on platform 1 opening at 300. Chris Berry, a junior lifter. Kyle has 295 on platform 2. I think we're going to see 3 white lights on both platforms. Nope. Both are good lifts, though, but 2-1 on platform 1. 1 call for depth from the left referee. On platform 2, the bar stays at 295 kilos, this time for Jean Laguerre. Nathan Wilhelm, our final opening squat over on platform 1. Junior lifter in the 140 class at 305 kilos, 671 pounds. Speedy 2nd attempt for Gene. 3 white lights. Nathan with a very wide and controlled squat. Looked like an opener should, really.
2-1, a good lift. And it looks like both of our top juniors, Nathan Wilhelm and Adrian Thomas, have higher forecasted totals than our open lifters in the 140 class.
Oh, they just didn't sign up for both?
Yeah, they just didn't. They just signed up for junior, but are not competing with the open. So you come to wonder whether or not they would have made things a lot more interesting if they signed up in open.
Zachary Brown's second attempt on platform 2, 315 kilos. And we're probably going to have a timeout on platform 1.
Bit of a break for the spotters and loaders who have been working tirelessly loading up over 700-pound squats.
They might rather just have them not timeout, rather just have them scratch so that way they don't have to strip all the 45 or 55s off.
That is true.
Oliver being a nicer competitor than some would be, choosing to time out when he's injured rather than scratching. The only real difference there is if you scratch, we don't even load the bar for you. So there's less rest for your competitors. 711-pound squat for Jihad Anderson. Moving pretty well. Oh, but he's going to lose his balance forward. No lift on it. That's one where I could understand if he wanted to go up, but if I was his coach, I don't think I'd let him. I'd want to retake that and get that on the board.
Yeah, especially when these lifters are taking as big of a jumps as they are. If he misses that third attempt after having going up again, I mean, that just introduces a whole lot of problems, now being only stuck with the opener. Let's see what he does here on LiftingCast.
Caleb Bicknell, second attempt on platform 2 at 330 kilos.
And Noah Verduzco on platform 1 looking very fly with the Pit Vipers.
Little update, Jihad Anderson has elected to go up for his third squat. He's gone from 322.5 to 330. So that is going to be a risky call here, and we'll have to see if it pays off for him here in about next 8 to 10 minutes. 2-1, good lift for Noah at 235 kilos. Sean Essig missed his opening attempt at 220, has elected to go up to 237. He missed his opener 2-1 on depth. Generally, depth is hard to fix just by going up in weight, unless you're an equipped lifter. Depth looks okay from the camera view. And this time he gets the lift 2-1.
Shea Francis up next, 252.5 for our junior lifter. And the spotters and loaders getting the platform ready for Joshua Price.
Must have missed something happen over there. Getting caught up on platform 2, Caleb Bicknell and Trevor Burgess, both successful at 330 kilos. Platform 1, Shea Francis, 252.5. Moved it pretty darn well. No lift, though. 3 reds across the board for depth. I'm a little surprised to see that called from the front there, from the sides maybe. The camera angle that we had, I thought it was okay. Joshua Price, a nice sizable 20-kilo increase to 340 kilos for his second attempt.
Joshua's squat looks good, and he gets 3 white lights.
Easy looking squat there for Christian. 3 white lights.
Zayas up next, platform 2.
655 pounds going on the bar for Tomas. Benjamin Yoder up 12.5 kilos for his second at 282.5. Solid grind there for Ben Yoder. 3 white lights. Tomas very controlled into the hole. Might have left a little in the tank there. 3 white lights as well for Tomas.
This was just 2.5 kilos below Tomas's all-time best. So pacing well if he's able to be successful in all of his lifts and hit a total PR.
Trying to build that total, not necessarily trying to push the boundaries of PRs.
Adrian Thomas, again, that junior lifter who was signed up in the Open.
$290 kilos for Adrian. Depth looked good to me. 3 white lights for Adrian. I think he's going to go up to at least 300. Kyle absolutely dunking 307.5 over on platform 2. 3 white lights. We were talking about it in the morning session, the level of execution that we've been seeing, and I think it's continued into this afternoon session. This might be the fewest misses in a squat session that I've seen all weekend.
And surprisingly, for it being the heaviest squat session of the entire competition, that's pretty surprising. I mean, just being a heavier and bigger lifter introduces a lot more variables that we might not see with the earlier session lifters.
20 kilo jump from opener to second for Chris Berry. All the way up to 705. Jean Laguerre on platform 2, up another 15 to 310. Ooh, no lift for Chris. Knew it immediately. Gene makes pretty good work of 310. With 3 white lights for him, he goes 3 for 3 on the day.
It might have been a case for Chris where he thought he misgrooved and didn't want to fight the lift, so he just gave up on that and will opt to retake that for the third.
Yeah, I could see that being the case. A 20 kilo increase from your opener to your second isn't that crazy when you're squatting that much. I'm going to look up what he's done in the past. If I can find it.
Nathan Wilhelm, platform 1, Zachary Brown on platform 2. Unfortunately, no lift for Zach on 2. And neither is it for Zachary on his second attempt.
Well, maybe I did a little bit of a commentator's curse talking about the execution here. Nate missing on a 32.5 kilo jump from his opener to his second.
And Jihad Anderson, who on his second attempt lost balance, fell forward a little bit, but still elected to go up 7.5 kilos. Maybe just trying to cover a little bit of ground, not his planned third attempt, but just trying to increase and trying to make up for that miss. And you couldn't have written a better attempt card for Jihad Anderson. He walks away with 330 kilos.
Platform 1, it looks like Oliver Buckner might have been listening to the stream. Put in a third at 235 that he's not going to take, so the spotters and loaders don't have to take all the weight off. As the spotters and loaders are doing a little bit of rock, paper, scissors, and paper beats rock.
And you know what? Yeah, I think he might have done that for the next attempt, which is just about, I think, like 5 kilos.
Yeah.
More than.
That way they don't have to peel 3 reds off the bar. Caleb Bicknell, 3 white lights, 337.5 on platform 2. Another lifter going 3 for 3 in the squat. Trevor Burgess, 342. Took a 25 kilo increase from his opener, up another 12.5. And Noah out on platform 1 to take 240, just up 5 from his second. Noah's fired up after getting 3 white lights and going 3 for 3 in squats. And Trevor successful on platform 2, 2-1 at 342.
A pretty good photo op, if you ask me, with that nosebleed at the end of the lift.
Sean Essig on platform 1, third and final squat at 245. Sean missed his opener on a technicality and jumped 237.5, or excuse me, jumped 17.5 kilos. And then we have our heaviest squat on either of these 2 platforms for the day. Joshua Price, third and final attempt at 350 kilos.
Bit of a delay on the lights for Sean. Platform 2, 771 pounds.
Oh, not going to be there for Josh.
Just a little bit too much for him, but he still walks away with 340 kilos. I mean, 10 kilos, when you're lifting weights that massive, what is 10 kilos?
It's hard to be that upset.
Shea
3%?
Francis, 252.5, retaking his second attempt weight.
Stood it up. It looked pretty easy. I want to see the call on depth. 2-1, good lift. That's kind of what I was expecting. Platform 2 is currently being broken down. They're going to swap that over to the bench press setup, and when that happens, Platform 2 is going to go to their 10-minute break. They're just about 5 attempts in front of Platform 1. Ben Yoder fired up for this third attempt at 287.5.
This will be a 2.5 kilo PR for Ben Yoder, who last recently competed at Collegiate Nationals in Oklahoma City this past April.
Depth looked really good there.
And Ben Yoder, he walks away with a 2.5 kilo PR, 2-1, good lift. I know that name sounds familiar. I remember commentating him during this session for Collegiate Nationals.
Christian Santiago, the next lifter on Platform 1. Team 3 lifter at 297.5 kilos, 655 pounds. 10-minute break timer has started on Platform 2. That was an easy third. 3 white lights for Christian Santiago.
And we are down to our last 3 lifts of this squat session. Adrian Thomas, our junior, who is also competing in the open. And Adrian Thomas is nominated first in the open category, looking to go for 300 kilos, putting him at an 820 forecasted total.
Man, he's got a massive bench press opener at 200. Trying to squat 661 pounds right here. 290 moved pretty well. The predictable 10-kilo jump. That was also an easy third. 3 white lights for Adrian Thomas.
And can you believe it? Our 3 heaviest squatters of this session are all junior lifters. Chris Berry is up next, retaking 320 kilos, 705.
Moving the uprights in for Chris Berry. The weight's getting heavy enough you can see the bar bending in the rack. You know what they say, Kevin, if the bar ain't bending, you're just pretending.
And ladies and gentlemen, this bar is not meant to bend. This is one of the stiffest bars you'll find in the market.
I believe 200,000 or 200K tensile strength. Chris Berry wasn't able to get out of the hole on the second. We think he might have just misgrooved it. The unrack looks fine.
Very good walkout. Yeah,
No.
Unfortunately, unable to get out of the hole, and he did cut depth anyways on that lift, so it did a bit of a strength issue there. So
just too much for him.
Walk away with 300. Similar situation here. Nathan Wilhelm on, who is also our junior lifter, retaking 337.5. And Nathan is only registered in the junior division. Despite this, he currently has the highest total of the entire competition so far.
Looking to retake 337.5. Missed it on strength on his second after a 32.5 kilo increase from his opening attempt. Final squat of session 2. 744. Able to stand it up.
It did look deep enough to me. Let's see if the referees liked it.
Gotta wait for the remote.
Good lift, 3 white lights. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we will transition over to the bench press. While our spotters and loaders are setting up for the bench, we will take a 10-minute break. We'll see you all shortly.
Get access to world-class coaching in real time from anywhere. Whether in a small group setting or one-on-one, our coaches are in your ear during your training sessions, watching every rep and correcting every mistake.
ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the bench press portion of the 2025 USA Powerlifting Raw Nationals Championship. For those of you just joining us in the live stream, we have our heavyweight men's competing today. We have our 125, 140, and 140 plus men competing. We're getting started on platform 2. We just got about 4 minutes left before bench pressing starts on platform 1. And starting off, we got Royce Saunders kicking us off with 100 kilogram bench press for his opening lift.
Royce is a Masters 4 lifter, which puts him somewhere in his 70s. Making good work of 100 kilos. 3 white lights. Ed North is next up on platform 2, opening up 125 kilos. During the break, I walked out and I ran into a couple lifters from the last few days, one of which is one of our sponsors, actually, Brandon Diamond of Basement Barbell. Always cool to run into people that you only really see at national events, get to check in on them.
All the lanyards that we are wearing today, from the staff to the athletes to everybody, the referees, were all provided by Basement Brandon Diamond.
Yeah, bar don't lie, and apparently neither do the name tags. Although ours kind of lie now because they say national in our names.
Yeah.
I wish they would have had secondary ones prepared for us, but it's okay.
They had our name tags and our patches ready, but not the badges.
And we each got some nice ties. Kathy Marksteiner said some nice words about us and presented us with our new equipment.
Christopher Delacarpini, 142.5, 314 pounds. For those of you watching from home, this is the equivalent of 3 commercial gym plates for an opening bench press for the Master 2 lifter.
A lot of these bigger lifters are going to appear to not have wide grips, but I assure you they are. Lots of range of motion for these guys. Good lift for Christopher Del Carpini. Brings up the other Christopher Allen, opening up at 155.
We see it somewhere in the chat. Someone said, "Come on, Chris, lock in." Not sure for who that is, but Chris, if you're hearing this, lock in. Charles Van Valkenburg up next, 170 kilos loaded for his opening bench. Opted to scratch on his 3rd attempt squat, walked away with 255, and is now moving on to the bench press with 170.
Just about 1 minute remaining in the break for platform 1 before we get started with Cody Saenz. Start command for Charles. A little bit slow at the lockout, but should still get 3 white lights. And he does, 170 kilos. Back to the split cam. Bar will soon be called loaded for Cody Saenz. $180 kilos opening attempt for Phong Nguyen. Very controlled opener for Phong. 3 white lights. Bars called loaded on platform 1 for Cody.
And there he goes. Plenty of time left on the clock. Malik Smith, 180 kilos, just shy of 400 pounds.
Good looking opener for our Team 3 on platform 1. Woo! Easy work on that opener for Malik. Gets the lift 2-1 with a yellow from the head referee. I'm not really sure what that one's for. I'm trying to think. I don't think he beat the rack command. I don't think he
maybe his head came up off the bench.
But that's not a rule anymore,
Just kidding.
Kevin. Curious what that was for.
Yeah, I mean, the yellow card is really kind of like the catch-all card. I mean, and if it's not an obvious infraction as denoted by the red or blue cards, a yellow card is kind of like in everything else.
That's generally how I teach people whenever I'm doing a state referee practical or trying to mentor. Red's got something, blue's got something, and then yellow's just everything else. During that, Todd Hale successful opening attempt at 185 kilos, and Evan Wessels on platform 1 successful with 125. Ian McCain opening attempt on platform 1 at 130, gets 3 white lights. Starting to get some crazy weights over here on platform 2. 200 kilo opening bench for Caleb Woodard.
And we have our teens going back-to-back, Ian McCain and Jennings Schneider, who are in that head-to-head battle in the Teen 2 division in the 125 class. Both lifters successful in their openers. Very interested to see what attempts they take as they move into seconds and third rounds.
William Chapman, platform 2, opening at 202.5. He's going to lock it out. I think he's going to get this lift. There might have been up and down. No, he's not going to get it. 3 reds, all blue cards. I wasn't sure if I saw it. It was hard to tell if it just stopped. Williams going to end up retaking that 202.5 on his second. Zachary George setting up for opening 140. No lift on platform 2 for Brendan Harrigan. He's a little confused by it. He's not sure what happened. Disagreeing with the chief referee on it, but that's not going to do him any good right there.
And while we're on the openers and seconds, let's talk a little bit more about the jury. I mean, this lifter went up to the chief referee and wanted to know what the reds were for, but we have a jury available at the national stage. And Alex, talk to us a little bit more about what a jury is and what they do.
So the main thing the jury does at these larger events is ensure that all of the rules are applied and followed correctly. Sometimes the platform referees gets a little hectic and they might miss some stuff. They're all very good, but we all make mistakes. So a common thing that you might see is if a lifter times out, you know, they're very close to getting their start command and there's 1 or 2 seconds left, the jury might take over and call time for the platform, but also the jury is there to review the lifts themselves. They're judging, And if they see something egregious, that's the key term there, egregious misapplication of a rule, then they can step in and overturn something. It doesn't happen too much, but it does happen a couple times over the course of the weekend.
Absolutely, and not only that, but the jury is also just not only overseeing the referees and the lifting itself, but they're making sure that the coaches, the spotters and loaders, all the platform crew people are following all the rules denoted by the USA Powerlifting Technical Rulebook. Edward North up next, 7.5 kilos. Bit of a grind on his second attempt, but he gets it up. And let's see what the referees say. I didn't see an infraction. Yeah, he gets 3 white lights, but a bit difficult of a second attempt. Not really where he would like to be, but got a good lift nonetheless. Lee Wells successful in his opening attempt of 195.
195 is staying on the bar for one of our Teen 3 lifters, Jude Kozel. Jude made an outfit change.
We see a comment here. Let's go Jude Kozel, and here he goes. 195 opening bench press attempt.
That's crazy for a teenager, man.
Yeah, and to move it at that speed with that range of motion, no wrist wraps.
Just he hit the rack. So he's going to get the lift 2-1, the one red being a yellow card. They might say he tried to rack it earlier. I think he just made contact with the rack and set up too close to it.
Yeah, I mean, a very common mistake. I mean, you want to set up in a position where once you unrack the bar, you can clear the J-cup, so that way when you press that bar back out, you're not hitting the rack, and that way the referees don't misinterpret that as far as a premature rack command.
Here is a massive jump on bench press. 15 kilo increase for Christopher Allen.
Yeah, normally that's a jump you would see in the squats, but here on bench press, I mean, the weight gets heavy quick, and let's see how Christopher Allen handles the 15 kilo jump.
Meanwhile, Mark Leonard, 3 white lights on his opening bench at 207.5.
Not a problem for Chris Allen.
Nothing to it. Stephen Roundtree, opening bench, 215 kilos on platform 1. It's 470 something, I believe. Charles Van Valkenburg, second attempt at 180. Easy opening attempt for Stephen. 3 white lights. Charles isn't going to be able to lock that one out. Got about halfway up before kind of shaking his head no, indicating to the spotters to catch the bar for him. I'm not sure he would have gotten that anyway. After he got the start command, the bar dipped into his chest. It looked like a heave to me. Evan Wessel's up 5 kilos for his second attempt at 130. And Fong Nguyen up 7.5 for his second at 187.5.
A very tough second attempt for Evan Wessels, but he grinds it out. And he gets a good lift, but
3 white lights.
How much more do you think he has left in the tank, if any?
I'm not sure there's much there.
I would personally scratch that.
Yeah,
third
scratch the third, 2.5 maybe, because I suppose a third bench miss / grind won't zap you for deadlift. But definitely not much there. Meanwhile, Fong Nguyen made quick work of the 187.5. I'm thinking this 190 for Malik should move pretty well.
Yeah, and we got some Malik fans in the chat as well.
Good second attempt from Cody on 1. 3 white lights. Bar slowed down about halfway, but never dipped. And yeah, 3 white lights for Malik. 190 didn't look like anything to him.
Our teen lifter is up next on platform 1. Ian McCain, 137.5, 7.5 kilo jump. Just sitting 5 kilos above Jenning Schneider, who is up next.
Things are really getting tight in that men's raw teen 2 125 category. Todd Hale's second attempt on platform 2 at 192.5. Ian with a really good effort on 1. 3 white lights. The same for Todd on 2. Both lifters successful. William Chapman retaking his opener at 202.5. William missed his opening attempt 3-0. All referees called him for downward movement. Safe play here is to retake. Yeah, and there's no question on any downward there. He must have just misgrooved that opener. 3 white lights for him. Zach George, 147.5 on his second attempt, up 7.5. Nothing to it for Zachary. 3 white lights on platform 1. Brendan Harrigan, after missing his opening attempt, electing to increase by 5 kilos to 212.5. Not sure what his miss was on his opener. That second looks pretty good. I didn't see any infractions there. 3 white lights, he's on the board. Jennings Snyder, ooh, not going to get his second attempt at 152.5. Might have been a little overzealous there, trying to jump 12.5 kilos for his second. Might be a mistake in the long run.
Meanwhile, a 12.5 kilo jump by Caleb Woodard.
Self-unrack for Caleb. Great second attempt for Caleb. I'd say the same thing for Christian there, too.
And Christian actually took a 15 kilo jump, which is something that you really don't see in the bench press event. Roy Saunders, our master forward lifter, taking another 10 kilo jump. 110 moved well for him. Let's see if he can end out his day with a 3-for-3 bench performance.
Jude Kozel, platform 1, 202.5. Smooth second attempt. Not sure how much is left in the tank for the third. Probably just going to go up 2.5 or 5. 3 white lights, though. Well, Royce not going to be able to get his third attempt at 120 kilos.
However, he still walks away with 110, which is just 7.5 below his all-time best of 117.
Isaac on 1, 10 kilo increase to 202.5. Very controlled at the chest. Ooh, not going to have it on this second attempt.
And he might, it looks like it might just be a strength issue. Position looked great, but the bar just kind of stalled as he got it off the chest and hit that wall. And
might have been a little too
with
fatigued.
Edward North, though this was his third attempt and only loses out on 2.5 kilos, going from 132.5 to 135.
Lee Wells on platform 1, 10 kilo increase to 205. Christopher Delacarpini up 2.5 kilos. Very conservative on his third to 155. Lee Wells, 3 whites on 1. And I'd say a really good call for Christopher on 2. 3 white lights for him there. Probably maxed out his bench for the day. Mark Leonard on 1, second attempt at 212.5. The screen is lying to you. It's not Stefan up on 1. It is still Mark Leonard. They're going to have to figure that out real quick. Charles Van Volkenberg retaking 180 on 2. I think he gets that. I didn't see downward movement on that one.
Yeah, he had a bit of an uneven, kind of like a seesaw movement of the bench press. But yeah, the referees agree that bar never went down in its entirety. And one really good way in kind of like how we're trained is we look at that center of the bar, and if that center of the bar, that middle knurling comes down, then that's a really good indicator to see if that entirety of the bar comes down. But if that lifter is grinding out one elbow, then the other elbow, and kind of seesawing that lift up, like we just saw with Mr. Van Valkenburg, I mean, that lift is good, and referees agree.
Yeah, the key word there is entirety of the bar. Christopher Allen at 182.5, 402 pounds on this bench press. Ooh, too big of a bite there, trying to go up 12.5 kilos.
Maybe he was trying to hit that 400 milestone lift for finally cross over that 400-pound mark. Now we got Stefan Roundtree.
222.5. 490 pounds. As a teenager, by the way. There we saw what Kevin mentioned before, an uneven lockout.
Yeah, and we see that consistent judging here. 3 white lights on both platforms.
I think they just said that that was a world record for Stefan on platform 1.
Yeah, as of now, he has a forecasted total of 860 in the 125 class. That is a mind-boggling total.
Kevin, we might not get there if we combine our totals. Fawn Nguyen, a pretty sizable jump, up 12.5 from his second to his third, looking to go for 200 kilos. His opener moved great. His second moved great. The third being a 12.5 kilo jump kind of scares me, but he's going for an American record here.
I can definitely see the thought process, right? Save a little bit of energy, not go for a too overzealous of a second attempt if it's not going to get you the record.
Meanwhile, in one third successful attempt for Cody Saenz.
And Fawn Nguyen.
That looked pretty close to a
very
second.
easy, yeah. And that is a new American record for Mr. Fawn Nguyen.
He might have sandbagged that.
Yeah, I mean, might have just chipped the record. And here we have Todd Hale attempting a Masters 2 American record.
200.5. You always love to see the chips come out.
Again, it really does draw attention since the spotters and loaders do have to go to the jury, pick up the chips, and then load those on the bar. So that extra layer of attention towards the bar being loaded just goes to show how much effort these lifters are putting into chipping these records and breaking these records.
And kind of what we talked about earlier with Evan Wessels, he's going to time out his third attempt. Not scratch it like we thought, but kind of the same thing. Todd very controlled.
Very good attempt there for Todd. That looks to be a good lift. 3 white lights.
And a new American record for Todd Hale.
Ian McCain is up now, trying to snag an additional 2.5 kilos. 140 now loaded for him. And those 2.5 kilos proved to be just a little bit too much for Ian. He still walks away with 137.5. William Chapman on platform 2, trying to add an additional 15 kilos, but there was downward motion, and he will get called for that. All 3 referees unanimously agree that the bar did go down.
Tough bench session for William Chapman. He still has a 520 subtotal, so he's still in contention in his category.
Hoping Jennings Schneider gets this 3rd attempt, as that will keep him in the running to be going against Ian McCain in that Team 2 battle in the 125s. Yeah, that 3rd attempt just proved to be a little bit too much. He jumped 12.5 from the opener to the 2nd, so he might have overextended himself a little bit too early, and the body just might have not been ready for that weight. Brendan picks up 5 kilos, ending his day with a 217.5 kilo bench press.
After a weird start for him. Zachary George on 1, 155 kilos, 3rd and final bench.
Hello, you guys. How you doing back here?
Doing good, Gino. Caleb Woodard on platform 2, 220 kilos for his 3rd and final attempt. No lift on 2 for Caleb, and 3 white lights for Zachary George on platform 1. Platform 2 is getting into the 2nd flight now. 167.5 kilos loaded on the bar for Zach Brown. Christian Behrens, 165. Three white lights for Christian on 1. Zachary, 2 white lights on platform 2. Jihad Anderson also opening at 167.5. And Isaac Pedrote, 202.5. Retaking his 2nd attempt, which we thought he missed on strength. So I'm interested to see if he can get it on this 3rd.
Very good attempt, able to lock out those triceps. Isaac Pedrote is successful in 202.5. Trevor with that deep sink and easy press with 177.5. Moving right along into those flight B second attempts for opening attempts. Jude Kozel 205, able to pick up an additional 2.5 kilos.
That was a no lift for Jude on one.
Yeah, I see that now.
What did they call on that?
The overlay was a little bit different, but I see the top of the lift. I think that was just a missed lift.
Yeah. Jean Laguerre opening at 182.5, 402 pounds on platform 2.
Easy 400-pound bench there for Jean.
Caleb Bicknell, 185 opening attempt on platform 2. Very quick opener. Three white lights there for Caleb. Chief referee Wes Zunker communicating something with the spotting and loading crew on platform 1. And you see on the overlay, I believe it says a world record attempt for Lee Wells. 210. It says 210.5 on the overlay on the monitor. That's what it says in LiftingCast. Tomas Zayas, platform 2, opening at 187.5.
Better known as Chocolate Climax.
Gets his start. Easy press.
And Tomas with a very soft touch on the chest. Works well for him. He gets 3 white lights. I'm looking forward to seeing Tomas pull.
I look forward to seeing him lift every time. He's such a nice guy, and he's like surprisingly strong. Like, I know he's a bigger guy, but the first time I met him, I didn't think about it too much, and then I saw him post how much he lift, and I was stunned. Kyle Gisto, platform 2, opening at 190 kilos. And after a little bit of hesitation, Lee Wells. Looks like there's no record attempt anymore. Just 210 loaded on the bar for his third and final bench. No lift for Lee on platform 1. Still credited with 205. Mark Leonard up another 5 kilos for his third and final bench at 217.5. Too much on the day for Mark. Still a valiant effort, credited with 212.5.
And Joshua Price with a very smooth 190 kilos. Very slow coming up and down on the chest, but very controlled.
Now we have another world record attempt on platform 1, Stefan Roundtree.
Stefan is a teen lifter competing with the open. He is 19 years old, benching 496 pounds.
Only up 2.5 kilos from his second, which was a world record for the teen category. Zachary Brown's second attempt at 175, moving easy.
Tacks on an additional 7.5 kilos to his total. A nice and easy press there. Looked like he might have had just a little bit more, but Stephen Roundtree, a new world record for the teen lifter.
Yeah, can't be upset setting a world record on your third at 225. Jihad Anderson, 10 kilo increase for his second at 177.5. And a blink and you miss it second attempt for Jihad. Christian Santiago, teen 3 lifter on platform 1, opening his bench at 132.5. Three white lights for Christian. Trevor Burgess, 3 white lights on platform 2, his second attempt at 185. And we got the Pit Viper Noah Verduccio opening at 135 on platform 1. Pressed it with some ease. It's going to have 3 white lights on there. I'm not sure that the bar was completely motionless when he got the press.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like that bar came down to the chest, but he had a little bit of a tough time coming in to a controlled, motionless stop. I think the referee might just got caught a little bit off guard and kind of called that press command a little bit too prematurely.
I know personally I'm notorious for being a little quick with the presses.
Yeah, typically once you see any form of kind of motionless on that bar, right, even if it's just a moment, right, you would call it. But and Sean with a very narrow grip, getting 3 white lights.
Did you confirm with Mr. Francis?
Yes, it is say.
It is say. So at first I was wrong with C, and then we were thinking maybe it's Shay, and we were both wrong, but it's say. So say Francis, opening on platform 1 with 152.5. And then Jean Laguerre, platform 2, 12.5 kilo increase for his second at 195.
And 195 moves with ease for John. As for Say, 152, not a problem for his opener. He was actually very appreciative in the warm-up room when I came up and asked him how to pronounce his name.
I've noticed most lifters are. At the Pro Series Finals last December, I had to go do that for Mesa Gill because I've been following her for a little while, but nobody's pronounced her name the same. So when I made sure to ask, she was like, oh, you don't have to say the middle part of my name. Just call me Mesa Gill, and she thanked me quite a bit for it. Tomas out, second attempt, up 10 kilos to 197.5. And Chris Berry opening at 157.5 on platform 1. Gino has a cutout of Tomas's face as he makes quick work of the 197. 3 white lights. Great opening attempt for Chris. Kyle Gisto on platform 2, second attempt at 200. And then Oliver Buckner, opening bench. We saw him take a token opener on squat at 75 kilos before timing out his next 2 attempts. And now he's going to open at 190. Crazy quick opener there for Oliver.
Yeah, he is one of the juniors who has just really good bench for people in this age category. Benjamin Yoder coming into us from Team Outlier Strength.
Friday night, Team Outlier had a first when Kyle Dawson became their first athlete to get a USAPL Pro card.
Major accomplishment for the team there.
Ben Yoder on platform 1, opening at 195 kilos. Very easy opening attempt.
And like the opener, Joshua Price with that very controlled descent and press. Doesn't look like the bar speed was altered one bit with that 10-kilo jump.
Platform 2 is going to go back to the top of the order. Third round final bench presses of session 2 on platform 2. Zachary Brown, 185 kilos, 407 pounds.
So we're starting to see it shape up now, but Adrian Thomas is in a bit of an advantage here since he will be benching after a lot of the other open guys on platform 2 are already on their third round of benches. So when we get around to the deadlifts, Adrian Thomas will have already known what all these lifters have hit for their deadlifts. So he will kind of be able to calculate his attempts a lot more meticulously and being able to kind of load exactly what he needs in order to pull ahead of the current leader, who is Jihad Anderson.
Yeah, fingers crossed that he and his coaching team are keeping their eyes on the leaderboard for the Open. I mean, he's doing so well in the Open, I imagine he's probably pretty far ahead in the junior right now. No, he's actually not ahead. We got Nate Wilhelm opening on platform 1.
Yeah, and Nate Wilhelm would have been forecasted in first place had he signed up in the Open, but he's only competing in the junior division.
No lip for Jihad Anderson's third attempt on platform 2.
And a smooth opener for Nathan Wilhelm on platform 1. He gets 3 white lights.
Trevor Burgess, third and final bench press, platform 2, 192.5. Christian Santiago, second attempt at 140, successful. 2 white lights, 1 yellow card from the side referee. Could be something that we're not able to see from here.
Caleb on platform 2 opting to take the 5-kilo jump. Adds another 5 kilos to his total.
I think that was the correct call.
Yeah, and he goes 6 for 6.
Noah on 1. Woo. 7.5 kilo increase. Did this kid just learn how to bench? Because that was easy. 2 white lights there for Noah.
And for his third and final bench, we got Mr. Chocolate Climax, Tomas Zayas. Looking to go 6 for 6, 202.5 loaded for his third and final bench press. Just a little bit shy of his all-time best of 210, but he's pacing very well, looking to go 6 for 6.
Sean Essig on 1, 155 kilos, no problem for him. Tomas grinds through on the 202.5. No lift. Called for up and down by the side and chief referee. Kevin and I are going to watch a replay on that. Oh, yeah, I agree with the call. Good call. Unfortunate for Tomas to miss out on those 5 kilos, but he's still 5 for 6 going into the deadlift. Say Francis on platform 1, 160 kilos. And Josh Price, final bench at 205. No problem at all for Say. 3 white lights on his second. Only 3 benches left on platform 2.
Just a little bit too much on the day for Joshua Price. 5 kilos. Pushed him past his tipping point, but he still walks away with 200 kilos, 441 pounds. Chris Berry taking a 15-kilo jump from opener to second. Let's see how he handles this. He took a 20-kilo jump on squats and resulted on him going 1 for 3. Let's see if he was able to learn a little bit more about taking too big or aggressive of jumps. And Chris Berry missing his second attempt. You hate to see it, but
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of that attempt selection. Jean Laguerre, 205. 3 white lights on platform 2. So we only have 1 more bench left on platform 2. It'll be Kyle Gisto with 210. After that lift, platform 2 is going to get broken down for the deadlift, and once the rack is cleared, platform 2 will go to a 10-minute break. But so when we're talking about that attempt selection, what's important at this competition, because this is nationals, is not necessarily trying to hit PRs. It's trying to build a total for position.
absolutely. Typically when you compete in a local meet, right, how many people are realistically in the same division as you? You may have a few podium spots, a few people competing against, but really that meet is for yourself. But at nationals, you're competing head-to-head against other people. And it doesn't matter what you hit in the single lifts. What matters is what you total, because total wins. And in the case of nationals, consistency of getting 3 for 3 lifts is what's going to build you the best total possible.
More often than not, the lifter that goes 9 for 9 is going to win. Now, there's the extreme cases where somebody is such an outlier that they can go 5 for 9 or even 4 for 9 and still win their event. But we just don't see that very often. It's super important to make attempts, make smart jumps, and build the total.
Transitioning out of platform 2, our spotters and loaders are getting the bar ready for the deadlift event. We'll see you guys in 10 minutes for this intermission.
Ben Yoder, platform 1, 3 white lights on his second attempt at 205. No, the overlay's not matching. So the video board in the background is displaying 3 white lights, but it was saying 2-to-1 no lift for Ben on our overlay. That's incorrect. That was a successful attempt for Ben Yoder at 205.
Now let's look at Adrian Thomas. He's got the shades and waves to the crowd. He's taking a 10-kilo jump, and Adrian Thomas is our junior lifter, who is forecasted in first place in the 140 open division.
That's a man with a lot of confidence waving to the crowd like that.
In the lead in the open, but in second place in the juniors. Make that make sense, ladies and gentlemen.
Gets a start. Good grief. Must be some bright lights overhead needing those shades. 3 white lights for Adrian Thomas. Wow, this is quite a jump on platform 1. 25 kilo increase, 215 all the way up to 240 kilos. Second attempt for Nate Wilhelm.
This is an American record attempt.
Able to lock it out. I want to see the calls from the side officials. 2-1, good lift. He got a yellow card from the left. It did kind of appear to me as though his hips came up, but according to our right side referee, his butt did not leave the bench. So he is successful with 240 kilos, a new American record. $10-kilo increase for Christian Santiago to 150 kilos. Third and final bench press for Christian.
A little bit too much there on the day. Did take a 7.5 kilo jump from first to second, and then a 10 kilo jump from second to third. So interesting attempt selection there. Normally you would want to take a bigger jump from first to second, and then as the weights get heavier, just take a smaller jump to that planned perfect third attempt. Noah Verduzco, Mr. Pit Viper, taking a 12.5 kilo jump. Again, similar with the attempt selection, took a 7.5 and then opted to take a 12.5.
Soft touch. He's able to lock it out. I think he's going to get called on downward movement. Oh, but no, 2-1, good lift for Noah.
I would personally not give him that lift because as that bar touched the chest, it almost looked like he wanted to time the press command and kind of started pressing that bar before we actually heard it.
Yeah, I want to look back at that call. He got it 2-1.
Got a yellow.
No, it was a blue card.
Blue card, okay, for that downward movement.
That was from our left side official, Jade Lukes, who is a category referee and also I believe, one of the 3 state chairs of Wisconsin. Say Francis, 162.5. Third and final bench. I'd say that was a pretty good call. Maybe another 2.5 kilos, but like we've been talking about, he's trying to build that total. A predictable 10-kilo increase for Sean Essig, up to 165. His second moved pretty well. Gets his start. That was a fantastic third.
Yeah, it doesn't get any easier than that. 2 10-kilo jump for Sean Essig, and he gets 3 white lights, ending his day 3 for 3.
He's fired up about it. I think he might have left a little bit in there.
Yeah.
Chris Berry looking to retake his second attempt at 172.5. Made his opener, missed his second. He did the same thing on squats. He's hoping to turn that fortune around. This time hoping to make a successful third attempt.
And this time around, Chris Berry is able to make that lift. 172.5 goes up, and he walks away with a good lift.
Glad to see Chris able to rebound off of that missed second.
I mean, was starting off with a rough day on squats, but seems to end up with a pretty nice bench, jumping 15 kilos, which is normally what you would expect to see your planned jumps to be from opener all the way up to third.
Oliver Buckner, pretty big bench presser. A shame he's injured and not really participating in the squat and deadlift portion, electing to take token attempts. 210 kilos for his third bench. and an absolutely perfect call for his third.
Didn't look like an absolute limit lift, but anything more might have risked a miss, and you definitely do not want that, especially if you're just here to bench press.
3 benches remaining on platform 1 before the platform gets taken down and a 10-minute break timer is started over here. Platform 2 has just about 4 minutes remaining before we start deadlifts over there. Benjamin Yoder trying to get into that headspace for his third and final bench press at 212.5.
And the brakes came on Ben Yoder's bench, and unfortunately he walks away with only 205.
Still a solid bench performance from him, though, at 205, 451.
Yep.
Adrian Thomas, third and final attempt at 215. Our second to last bench press.
And our men's Raw Junior 140 seem to be fairly broken up when it comes to the forecasted total. Adrian Thomas sits comfortably in second place in the juniors. However, he is the current leader in the 140s.
I think a great third attempt call there from Adrian.
Yeah, and with that, Adrian Thomas currently sits with an 835 kilo total. Actually sitting in second place behind Joshua Price, who's also sitting at an 835 kilogram total based off of opening deadlifts. And the only differentiating thing is their body weight. Look at their body weight, and Joshua Price actually weighs about a kilo lighter than Adrian Thomas. About half a kilo.
Nathan Wilhelm looking to further his own bench press record from the last round up to 245 kilos for our final bench of the day on platform 1. Not there for him. So 240 was a really good call for that second.
Really loses only 5 kilos, but he does gain 25 from first to second. So he covered most of the ground anyways in the beginning portion of the bench press session.
Massive subtotal there for Nathan as well, 577.5.
Yeah, I mean that's what people total like in the first day.
All right, we've got about a minute left before platform 2 begins deadlift. And we're just moments away from platform 1 going to their 10-minute break.
We're just about now letting that clock run down. About 45 seconds left until Royce Saunders comes onto the platform and attempts 150 kilos for his opening deadlift. While we have this bit of time, I want to take some moment to thank our sponsors, A7 Demand Greatness, who we see there on the banner. They are our presenting sponsor who have a booth set up here at the Raw Nationals Convention Center, and they have been a huge supporter of USA Powerlifting. We'd also like to thank Pioneer Leathercraft. They have some of the best belts and manufactured here in the USA. They've been supporting us for many years, and we'd like to also thank Basement Barbell, owned by Brandon Campbell, athlete and educator on all things home gym. Be sure to check out his content at basementbarbell.com. We're just now getting started with Royce Saunders, 150 kilos loaded for him. Good lift for Royce. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, in the deadlift, there's only one command. There's the down command. So lifters will come up to the bar, stand up with the weight in whatever stance they choose, whether it be sumo, conventional, froggy stance, whatever stance you elect to get that deadlift up. And then that chief referee will give the down command, and then it is now the lifter's responsibility to lower that bar with control down to the floor without dropping the bar. So the lifter has to maintain control up until the plates touch the platform at the end of the movement. Referees will be looking out for demonstrated control at the top of the lift and also ensuring that the lifter's shoulders and their knees are locked. That was a good lift for Fong Win, 205 kilos. Now we got Christopher Allen, 220 kilos, just shy of 500 pounds. We got 485 loaded on the bar. Good lift there for Christopher Allen. And for anyone watching on the stream on YouTube, be sure to use the live chat feature and send us your comments. Let us know if you guys have any questions, are supporting for anybody, or would like to give a shout out to any one of the lifters you all are supporting tonight. Christopher Delacarpini crossing over that 500-pound marker with 227.5. Bit of a slow lockout, but able to get that down command, and let's see what the referees say. 3 white lights. He's on the board. And once lifters achieve that first deadlift, their total will be solidified, so they have no risk of being disqualified or bombing out, as we previously mentioned during earlier session in the squats. These openers are going to be something lifters are going to want to get on the board. And we actually see in the back that Edward North is getting his deadlift socks on. He has about 20 seconds to get his socks on and step onto the platform. Let's see if he's able to get them in time. But yeah, that is one of the requirements to perform the deadlift and come out. I guess, if you will, the uniform requirements. You need to have deadlift socks that go up to the bottom of the knee. And it doesn't look like Edward is going to have enough time to step out on the platform and achieve his deadlift. So he will be timing out his opener. Charles Van Valkenburg with 250 kilos, 551 pounds. Gets a good lift. 3 white lights. Todd Hale, 265 now for the Masters 2 125 kilo lifter. Three white lights. That is a good lift for Todd Hale. Caleb Woodward are up next, 280 kilos.
Opening attempt for Caleb Woodard, successful. 3 white lights at 280 kilos. .282.5 loaded the opener for Brendan Harrigan. Looked like a decently hard opener, excuse me.
Yeah, and like mentioned, the opener is supposed to be something that you know you can hit on any given day. It's supposed to be almost like that last warm-up on the platform. So it's a bit of a interesting situation when a lifter has an opener moving very slow, or just they have to put in an extra bit of effort to get that opener up. I mean, that really reduces the chances of you being able to significantly go up past that.
Not a hard opener there, though, for William Chapman. 290 kilos, 3 white lights.
Big jump over to now Malik Smith, 325, pushing us past that 700-pound marker.
That's a crazy opening attempt.
That is 2.6 times his body weight for an opener is actually kind of insane. For
especially, when you're that
as
big.
a 125 kilo lifter.
Like, I know a lot of lighter lifters can be into the mid-upper threes, but, like, pulling 700 is still 700. 3 white lights for Malik.
Malik, kind of looking at his hand, I'm not sure if he tore a callus or something like that, but yeah, we do see quite a bit of blood on the bar.
That's not fun.
Royce Saunders up next now on his second attempt.
Oh, yeah. Looking at the replay, there was definitely a big blood spot there. Minnesota crew doing a good job getting it all cleaned up, though. I wonder what that's going to do for Malik. He did put in a 10-kilo increase, so he's going to come back out. I mean, when you're at Raw Nationals, you do kind of have to push through that. Royce Saunders' second attempt at 160 kilos. Just about a minute left in the intermission on platform 1.
Masters 4 lifters. He is 72 years of age. He's got one more lift left to go. He gets 3 white lights on his 160 attempt. And I agree with Smiley Girl, 1272. 700 pounds definitely did fly off the floor.
Fong Win, second attempt, 217.5 kilos. A little tough on the second attempt there for Fong. Split cam is back up. We are just moments away from the opening deadlifts on platform 1. Cody Signs will lead us off. Bar is called loaded at 220 kilos. A 484-pound opener for our 125-kilo Team 3 lifter. Christopher Allen's second attempt at 235.
And Cody Signs having a remarkable day so far, not missing any lifts thus far, which is just honestly really impressive as a teenage lifter competing on the national level with, I mean, this strict of refereeing, right? You know that these lifts are earned, right?
Yeah, and it's a great sign moving forward because he's only a teenager. If he sticks with this for another 5-10 years, that total can get massive, and he can be pushing for podium spots in the open category.
He might be competing in the primetime session in a few years if he really sticks with it.
And we've seen that happen for lifters over time. Like a good friend of mine, Delaney Sousey, is a good example. She's been in the sport 4 or 5 years. She started off like in the morning sessions, you know, just trying to build a total, and then Thursday night, Thursday night she was second. She beat Demetria Thatton and was only behind Kate Cohen in the women's 48 kilo.
And Christopher Della Carpini with a great attempt of 245. Not sure if he acted a little bit surprised in looking at the referee lights, kind of not sure if he was surprised he got that lift, but he is currently 8 for 8.
Edward North's second attempt at 250, missed his opener, elected to go up 10 kilos.
I see no issues there, and yep, 3 white lights is the answer. Zachary George, 3 white lights credited to him, 250 kilos. Ian McCain will also be taking 250 kilos, 551 pounds, one of our teen 2 lifters in the 125 class.
275 kilos on the bar for Charles Van Valkenburg, second attempt deadlift. I'm a big fan of that 25 kilo increase, especially on deadlifts. I really like, not even just for myself, but also having my athletes take those larger jumps.
Bit of a tougher opener for Ian McCain, has to struggle a little bit on the lockout, but gets 3 white lights nonetheless. And you hate to see it for Charles, but he drops that deadlift midway. I'm not sure if he lost a little bit of balance or positioning, or if that weight just kind of tugged him down. A little bit too big of a jump if you think 25 kilos. Not sure if that might be too much for him.
I would think that if you're going to take a big jump like that, if you're not trying to push your limit on your second, you're still going to be maybe 5 to 10% off your best. So surprised to see him not get that. 280, moving like nothing for Todd Hale on platform 2.
And a very tough opener for Jennings Schneider. Gets called for up and down movement of the bar. Kind of as that bar got to his knees, that bar dipped back down, and then he locked it out. Gets one white light from the left referee, but unfortunately that'll be no lift on the opener.
Maybe I wasn't paying close enough attention on that one, but I don't know if I agreed with that call.
And what would have been a promising battle in the Team 2 125 class is now becoming almost like a survival thing for Jennings, as he is now risking bombing out. I mean, he had a very unfortunate turn in squats, went 1 for 3 in the bench press, and is now looking to retake his second attempt in the deadlift.
Caleb Woodard, second attempt on platform 2, 300 kilos. Very good second attempt for Caleb. 3 white lights. Christian Barron's platform 1. Snappy opener.
Rocking the pink A7 singlet and the pink Notorious lifts.
Personally, I'd tell him to pull his socks up a little bit more. But I'm not the TC, so it doesn't really bother me too much.
I'm going to go yell at Andrew right now.
Yeah, Andrew Graves. One of our national referees from, I think, Maine.
Yep, Maine.
312.5, second attempt for William Chapman. No problem there. 3 white lights. Isaac Pedrota, opener at 280 kilos. Gets his down command. 3 white lights. I think as the weight gets heavier for Isaac, it might be tough for him to get that lockout. It looked like his shoulders were a little forward.
Yeah, and typically you see it with some of the bigger guys. It is difficult kind of getting past those massive quads. I mean, these guys are squatting 700 pounds, and imagine just having to drag that bar through those quads.
Yeah, who would have thought having bigger legs could be inconvenient for something? Malik Smith up 10 kilos, bloody hand and all. Hook grip 335, and he does lose the grip. It looks like he had tape on his finger because that came off. No lift for Malik. The overlay is lying to you. Lee Wells opening at 297.5 as the volume's getting turned up in the venue.
And Malik could have another go at it at 335, but it's not looking too promising because, I mean, you can't really hold on to over 700 pounds with an open wound like that.
Which is going to be real unfortunate for Malik, too. Trying to battle for like a top 5 spot right there.
He was really one of the ones trying to stay within that top 5, but unfortunately he just, after several missed attempts, just kind of fell behind.
Jude Colesville's opening attempt at 315, looking like nothing.
And we got our teenager, Stephen Roundtree, taking 700 pounds, over 700 pounds, for his second attempt deadlift.
And with everything moving for Stephen today. You know what's crazy is that looked like the hardest lift of the day for him, and it wasn't hard. Good lift, 2-1. Big Roy Saunders, platform 2, 175.
And I believe that left referee saw him release his hands from the bar.
Gotcha.
I kind of caught that a little bit, but couldn't definitively say he dropped that bar. So I personally would not have red lighted him, but I can see where that referee is coming from.
175, successful third attempt for Roy Saunders. Vaughn Nguyen, third and final attempt at 225. Vaughn has had a great day.
Yeah, he's had a phenomenal day. 0 missed attempts, looking to close out his 9-for-9 performance at Raw Nationals in Atlanta, Georgia.
Cody Signs with an easy second attempt on platform 1.
And what a great attempt for Vaughn Nguyen. 225 kilos. He ends his day going 9-for-9.
All right, pretty important poll here on platform 1. Team 2 lifter Jennings Schneider looking to bounce back from a missed opening attempt.
Bit of an awkward bar path on that opener with that bar getting caught in the knees and having some downward motion. Let's see if he can make that adjustment on the second attempt.
Not able to get it off the floor. He's going to need to gather himself for that third.
A little bit of a heartbreaking moment here for Jennings as that bar didn't even leave the floor on this second attempt. He will have one more go at it if he wants to not risk bombing out from this championship.
3 white lights for the third and final attempt for Christopher Allen at 247.5. Evan Wessels missed his opener, elected to move up to 260 for his second. Snappy. I don't see any infraction. Should be 3 white lights there for Evan.
Bar is loaded for Edward North, and we see some attempt changes going on in progress. Ooh. And it looks like Edward North is going to change his attempt from what would have moved him from 6th place to 5th place. He will now be pulling to move himself into 4th.
That's a pretty sizable attempt change.
Yeah, I mean, he could have only gone up 5 kilos to swap 6th to 5th, but will now be looking to go to, we see another attempt change. Charles Van Valkenburg changing his attempt down to what he previously missed of 275.
Some confusion going on. Vice President Johnny Graham trying to
sort things out.
It.
Yep. Again, this is 3rd round of deadlift, so expect to see some attempt changes as these lifters are jockeying for a position. These are some tight battles here in the Raw Masters 2 division in the 125.
Everything does look correct, though. I think the lot numbers are all fine on platform 2. Oh, are they going to say Charles can't go down? Did they already call bars loaded on 277?
Good lift for Mark Leonard, 275. Zachary George will take the same weight, 275 kilos will be loaded for him. And with a bit of a toss-up in the Masters 2 division, 125, we had some attempt changes go down from Charles Van Valkenburg, Edward Nord. So we are trying to figure out what the attempt changes were.
So we did get everything straightened out. It does appear everything was legal over on platform 2. Charles Van Valkenburg will take his third and final pull at 275. This should just lock up second place for him.
Yeah, if unsuccessful, I mean, that kind of opens up a little bit of an opportunity for, well, no, that,
no, he's locked up.
Yeah, he's pretty locked up in second place.
No lift, doesn't really matter. He's going to walk away with second place in the men's Raw Master 125.
And so now Edward North is up next, and he could have taken a 5-kilo jump to swap placings with Christopher Allen and move himself into a medal with 5th place, but no, he wants to go up to 277.5 and take 4th, bumping Christopher Delicarpini down to 5th.
A 27.5 kilo increase from his second attempt.
This is for 4th place or no medal, Edward North.
Ooh.
And you almost come to wonder if whether or not he should have just gone for the 5th place and taken a medal home anyway.
Yeah, I don't think that was the right call, but it's not ours to make. I think you're right. I'd have only gone up to 255 and looked to take 5th place.
And your champion in the Masters 2 division, Todd Hale, making a victory lap, winning this class by over 60 kilos and looking to have a 9-for-9 day. Todd Hale, 300 kilos loaded on the bar. And Todd Hale is your Masters 2 125 kilo champion, going 9-for-9 and a perfect day, walking away with a bench press record as well of 200.5 kilos.
Must be nice to win a national championship with still plenty in the tank on your third pull. All right, Lee Wells, platform 1, 699.9 pounds on the bar. No lift for Brendan Harrigan on platform 2. Good lift, Lee Wells on platform 1.
And again, that kind of solidified Lee Wells into that second place position, kind of putting it out of reach for Mark Leonard, who is currently sitting in 3rd place in the Masters 1 division, 125.
Looking at that, though, there is a chance Lee tries to pull for the win. Isaac's only put in a 2.5 kilo increase for his 3rd. Yeah, it doesn't look like Lee's putting in that attempt to go for the win. We'll see if he changes that. Jude Kozel, 335 for a second attempt. Nothing has looked hard for that kid all day. Caleb Woodard, 307.5 on 2. Gets his down. 3 white lights, Caleb Woodard.
Stephen Roundtree, 755 pounds for the Team 3 lifter. And unfortunately had a bit of a bobble at the top of the lift. Definitely not a strength issue. You could almost even argue that that weight moved up so fast that he struggled to maintain control at the top of the lift.
Yeah, it was almost too easy for him.
Yeah, unfortunately that'll be a no lift for Stephen Roundtree. He's still sitting in 2nd place. William Chapman up next, looking to move himself into 5th place provisionally with a 320 kilogram pull. And for the time being, William Chapman is in 5th place with an 840 kilo total.
Wow, okay. Big pull coming here from Malik Smith. 3rd and final attempt after missing his 2nd attempt on what we believe to be his hand tearing. He's choosing to go up 15 more kilos to 350.
If successful, he is currently sitting in 8th place and is looking to move all the way up into 4th, boasting an 860 kilo total if successful.
This might be a big gamble here.
Yeah, Cody Sines with a good attempt there, 242.5.
You can see some tape on his right thumb. Malik does pull using hook grip, and we need Jennings Schneider to make this 3rd deadlift to stay in the competition and post a total.
A pull for 4th place, Malik unsuccessful. Now Jennings needs this lift to stay in the meet. Let's go, Jennings.
I think Malik might have just went to sleep. Yes, he did.
And what a tragedy. Jennings is unfortunately unable to bomb out, is unable to post a total.
Hoping Malik's okay after that. Bit of a scary incident there. Head rush after that 3rd deadlift attempt. He looked to gray or black out.
And what would have been a promising battle with Jennings Schneider against Ian McCain in the Team 2 125s is now the Ian McCain show. 265 kilos loaded for the Team 2 lifter, and he looks to lock out that deadlift, sets it down, and is your Team 2 125 kilo champion.
Gets a fist bump from Gino. About halfway through Flight C's 3rd deadlifts on Platform 1. We are just moments away from starting the opening deadlifts for Platform 2 Flight D. Evan Wessels, 272.5, looking to pull 600 pounds as a teenager. Gets the lockout.
Good attempt there, and a 600-pound pull for Evan is successful. 3 white lights.
Meanwhile, on to the first deadlift for the session, or excuse me, for the flight. Caleb Bicknell, 255, good. Zachary George on Platform 1, Zachary Brown on Platform 2. Zachary Brown's opener at 275, 606. Three white lights for Zachary Brown. Kyle Gisto, Platform 2. 285 as his opening attempt. Easy opening attempt there for Kyle. Zachary George not there for his 3rd attempt at 285.
And Mark Leonard is your bronze medalist in the Masters 1. Unfortunately, unable to catch up to Lee Wells, which pushed his total well ahead and out of reach. Mark Leonard will be attempting 290.
I think it was a great call. I think there's a little bit of downward. Yeah, no lift for him. He got one blue card, one red. That might be a contestable pull. I mean, at that point, he was just kind of pulling for pride. He already locked up third. Joshua Price on platform 2, opening at 295 kilos. Couple of easy looking pulls. Joshua Price, 3 white lights on 2 for his opener. Christian Behrens
waiting on that referee light. It is good. 3 whites.
300 kilos was successful for Christian. 300 kilos stays on the bar for Isaac.
Isaac trying to pull ahead and make it out of reach for Lee Wells. He is still under threat from Lee. Trying to, let's see it, Isaac.
I did see an attempt change in already, but not for Lee.
I don't think that lift will be good. It is good, 2 to
lift,
white,
2
yeah.
to 1.
And so now Lee Wells will now be pulling to beat Isaac. He will attempt 337.5 to total 817.5.
They're going to attempt
2.5
right?
kilos ahead of Isaac.
Yeah, they're gonna drop this, to 335. He just needs to tie. He's got the body weight advantage.
Lee Wells will be looking to tie against Isaac and win on body weight. Both lifters, if successful, will end at 815 kilos for their total.
Jihad Anderson pulling 310 opener, platform 2. Easy opening attempt for Jihad. That should be 3 whites.
And Lee Wells with a pull for the win.
Laser focus from Lee Wells. 335 kilos on the bar. Pulling for a national championship.
Too much on the day, and Isaac is your Masters 125 kilo national champion, followed by Lee Wells in the silver and Mark Leonard in the bronze.
Tomas on 2, opening at 315.
Moving over to our teen lifter, who Stephen Roundtree is also competing in the open. He's looking to post a 885 kilogram total if successful with this. This is also to defend against Jude Kozel, who's another teen lifter.
I suspect if he makes this, Jude's going to make an attempt change.
Absolutely.
Corrects
and
his mistake.
Stephen Roundtree is your leader. 885 for Stephen in the Team 3.
Yep, attempt change in progress on platform 1. Jude Kozel is going to pull for the win on platform 1.
There we have it. Jude Kozel will be attempting a massive 362.5 kilo total.
27.5 kilo increase from his successful second.
He will be tying Stephen Roundtree with an 885 kilo total and winning on body weight, weighing only 1.3 kilos less than Stephen.
This attempt is only about 20 kilos shy of the open American record. Jude Kozel pulling for the win.
19 years of age.
Oh my goodness.
Just a little bit too much on the day, and for the Team 3 division, Stephen Roundtree will be your champion, followed by Jude Kozel and Christian Burns rounding out that podium.
Zachary Brown, successful second attempt at 295 kilos on platform 2. Platform 2 is about halfway through the flight. And then we're going to go to take a token opener for Oliver Buckner, who has been injured. He's just taken the 75 kilos so that way he can post the total. There's no bench only here. Trevor Burgess, successful 302.5. Yeah, it's a shame that Oliver's injured. A 210 kilo bench. Kyle Gisto, 25 kilo increase up to 310 kilos.
Having a great day so far. Not missing any single lift. I don't expect it to begin now.
Good looking attempt there for Kyle. 3 white lights. Sean Essig taking his opener on platform 1.
We got some Gene fans in the chat. Gene LaGuire going up to 310 kilos.
3 white lights for Sean's opener. The Pit Viper Noah Verdugo. 310 for Gene, looking good. A little.
I don't think that's going to go.
Yeah, a little bit of misbalance there. No,
he got 3 white lights.
I probably would have called that myself.
And I guess as specified as the rule book, the bar is allowed to settle at the top, and I believe that's what the referee saw happen there.
Joshua Price, 25 kilo increase to his second at 320 kilos. And Ben Yoder, 250s opener. Smooth opening attempt for Benjamin Yoder. Josh Price had to work for that second, but I think he's going to get it.
Yeah, that bar just kept riding up those quads, but there was no supporting on the thighs. He gets 3 whites.
Supporting on the thighs can definitely be a tough one.
Especially with these massive guys that have just, I mean, they squat over 700 pounds, just massive thighs. I mean, that bar has to travel through. Say Francis, 255 kilos for his opening deadlift. Meanwhile, Jihad Anderson is going to 327.5, crossing over that 700-pound barrier. Bit of a hold at the top for Say, but he gets 3 white lights and is credited with a good lift.
$17.5 kilo increase, second attempt for Jihad Anderson.
Jihad currently in 5th, looking to pull himself into 3rd for the time being.
Looked easy. 3 white lights for Jihad's second. Chris Berry on 1. Pretty good opening attempt. I want to see what Chris submits for his second. I think he's bitten off a little more than he should have on his second attempts for both squat and for bench.
And Tomas Zayas, 337.5, looking to pull himself from 6th place to 4th to round out the second attempt deadlift for the 140 open males.
Good lift for Christian Santiago's opening attempt at 265. Bar moves up to 310 kilos. The opener for Nate Wilhelm. And on platform 2, third and final attempt for Caleb Bicknell.
Just couldn't get that lockout, Caleb. All right, platform 2, we got some attempt changes going on in progress.
Snappy opener there for Nate Willem.
We don't know the load yet. Zachary Brown is projected to go first. He changed from 312.5 to 317.5, and this will move him from...
Next lifter is going to go to Trevor Burgess, though. Trevor's in
there
at
we go.
315. He's going to be your next lifter.
He's currently sitting, he had a massive subtotal with a 342.5 kilo squat, a 192.5 kilo bench, and is looking to pull 315 to further solidify his placing in second.
Adrian Thomas just moved 705 like nothing.
Trevor knows that Joshua Price is a little bit out of reach, but is trying to fend off Jihad Anderson, which is trailing right behind him.
I think that's going to be a good attempt there for Trevor. Like you said, not only does he have to worry about Jihad Anderson, he's got Adrian Thomas over on platform 1 that he's going to have to worry about.
Yeah, I mean, Adrian Thomas still barely on his opening lift. However, Trevor Burgess is now 15 kilos ahead of Jihad Anderson.
Trevor finishes going 9 for 9 and totaling 850, and he might miss the podium.
So Zachary Brown is now looking to move himself from 9th to 8th, knocking down Caleb Bignell down to all the way to the bottom position.
Strong third pole there for Zach Brown.
Going 3 for 3 in the deadlifts, he swaps placings with Caleb.
Nice little 700-pound deadlift to end the day.
And now, Gene LaGuire is looking to pull all the way from 7th into 3rd, bumping down Jihad Anderson. He's looking to post up a 840 kilo total, looking to wedge himself in between Trevor and Jihad. This is a pull for the podium, a pull for bronze.
You got to hit this, and then you just have to sit there and wait. Yeah. Because Adrian Thomas over on platform 1, he's not submitting a big attempt change for his second.
And you can't be mad at this. This is a pull for podium. He has gone 9 for 9, a perfect day so far for Gene.
Let's see if 325 is the correct call. 15 kilo increase. Stuff is getting close here. A lot of drama unfolding on platform 2.
And Gene LaGuire is your bronze medalist for the time being. We still have plenty of lifting left to go, but he is your sitting bronze medalist.
I think that was a perfect third attempt call. Now he's just got to sit there, cross his fingers, and hope he doesn't get run down by one of the other kids.
And Joshua Price, your current leader, looking to further extend his lead, but he's got people pulling and attempting for the... Oh my goodness. We see a 400.5 kilo attempt for Tomas
I think
Zayas.
Tomas is trolling.
Yeah, I know he is, but you never know.
I think he wants the final pull.
Joshua Price looking to push his total all the way to 867.5.
Benjamin Yoder, 265 for his second, will be successful. 3 white lights for him.
And Kyle Gusto is now looking to push himself all the way from 7th to 2nd place, bumping down Trevor Burgess. He will pull for an 852 total. Another one of these lifters that has had a perfect day thus far. It's coming down to the last deadlift.
St. Francis' second attempt, no good at 270.
Just a little bit too much on the day. Kyle Gusto will remain in 7th place. Another attempt change in progress. Jihad Anderson is currently your 4th place finisher and is looking to pull himself into 2nd place.
Jihad lowering his third attempt from 345 to 342.5.
Looking to tie Trevor Burgess and win on bodyweight as he is the lighter lifter.
Pretty substantially lighter as well. Chris Berry, good second attempt there, 272.5.
Interestingly enough, Jihad Anderson weighed in at 125.6, so only 0.6 above the weight class below him.
It's barely a pound.
Jihad Anderson.
Third pole of 342.5 for Jihad. Like you said, trying to move into 2nd. Oh.
And for a second, I thought it was going to go up.
Attempt change in progress on platform 2.
It's got to be Tomas
Yeah,
Zayas.
we know what it is. Tomas is, it's still a big pull.
Yeah, Tomas Zayas is looking to pull himself into 2nd place with a 357.5 kilo pull. Tomas is capable of this. He most recently competed at the Illinois State Championship and pulled 355. This will be a 2.5 kilo PR for Tomas. He is capable of this pull, and he will look to move himself into 2nd place.
Bars getting cleaned for Nathan Willem on platform 1. 332.5. His opener looked easy. That looked just as easy as his opener for Nate. He kind of ran away with that junior division.
And the clock is ticking. Tomas Zayas, 357.5, 2.5 kilo PR. He is capable of this. This is a pull for 2nd. Let's go, Tomas.
Meanwhile, Adrian Thomas pulling on platform 1. He's a lift behind, but he's right on Tomas's heels.
Let's go, Tomas.
Come on.
There it is. There it is. Get it up. Let's go. Let's go.
Lock it out, Tomas.
Give it to him.
Oh, no.
Unfortunately.
3 reds, all blue cards. So they're going to call that for downward movement or supporting on the thighs. I don't think I agree with it, but we're not the ones in the chairs.
Yeah, tough call. Very tough call for Tomas Zayas. And that'll put him down all the way to 6th place. But a valiant effort for Tomas to pull into 2nd and make that attempt. We are all wrapped up on platform 2, and we still got plenty of lifting left to go, and one more pull, which we got Adrian Thomas on platform 1, and we see he has loaded 350 for the win.
Well, at least to put himself in the lead for now.
We still got prime time to go, but yes.
At this point, I think he should change that down. He's trying to move ahead by 5 kilos. He doesn't need to. Platform 2 all wrapped up. Man, I'm still kind of in shock over that Tomas pull.
Yeah, I know. I really wanted, obviously,
We're
lifter out of
biased.
Chicago, yeah. And Oliver with that very kind sportsmanship act, loading just enough weight to time out, but to not make the spotters have to unload 4 reds at a time.
Say Francis on platform 1, 270 kilos.
A bit of a delay in the overlay, but this is 595 pounds for Say.
Missed it
round
on
of
the
deadlift.
second. Not going to be there for him today.
We got Sean up next, who is competing in the Masters 2 140 kilogram division. Sean just had a bit of a mishap in that opening squat, but other than that has had a perfect day thus far and is looking to round out his performance with a 606-pound deadlift. Coached by David Garcia in the corner. And call it a perfect day for Sean because he only missed an opening squat and he goes 8 for 9.
And I think the opener squat, I think he just jumped to command.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like that attempt never even happened
Yeah.
if you go up after that.
Benjamin Yoder, third and final pull, 277.5 on the bar, 611 pounds.
Solidly in third place, looking to just fend off Chris Berry, which is a much heavier puller, so looking to overextend that lead. Let's go Ben Yoder, and he locks it out. From what looked like that attempt was going to get stuck at the knees, he locks it out and gets 3 white lights. Good job, Ben Yoder.
Noah Verdugo, the Pit Viper himself, coming out 285 kilos, a 20-kilo increase for his third deadlift.
And this is a pretty big PR for him. Not only is this going to PR his total by over 20 kilos, but this is a 12.5 kilo deadlift PR.
Locks it out with ease. There was some left in the tank for him.
And Noah Verduzco goes 9 for 9 at Raw Nationals. I'm jealous of those Pit Vipers.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have just 4 deadlifts remaining in session 2 here at USA Powerlifting Raw Nationals in Atlanta, Georgia. Chris Berry out to take his third attempt at 290 kilos. He's already locked up 4th place in his division. Third seems out of reach, just trying to further his own total.
After Ben Yoder's attempt, Chris Berry will no longer be attempting to pull into 3rd place. Chris Berry, your 4th place junior in the 140, 290 kilos.
His chain popped off.
Yes, snap that chain, but he gets 3 white lights.
Very excited to see his attempt selections on deadlifts.
Yeah,
I think he had a little bit more in the tank. Might have been able to be in 3rd with some better attempt selection on squat and bench.
Yeah, a bit of a rough start, but still goes 3 for 3 and is within that top 5 and will earn a medal.
Christian Santiago, Team 3 lifter, looking to pull 305. He's already won his age and weight category. Just trying to solidify a, 740-ish total?
Only 1 missed bench attempt, and Christian Santiago is your Team 3 140 national champion.
3 white lights for that one. 2 final attempts. Nathan Wilhelm, only up 2.5 kilos off of his second. He does appear to be coming out still. He's already won his category by a lot.
And Nathan Wilhelm, if successful with this deadlift, will boast a 912.5 kilo total in the 140 class.
There wasn't even a struggle there for him. 335, 3 white light, successful third deadlift for Nate Wilhelm.
And he crosses that 500 dots barrier, a very milestone performance for Nathan Wilhelm.
All right, I think we're going to have a bit of movement here in the open category for the men's Raw 140. Adrian Thomas signed up as a junior, looking to pull 347.5, trying to move himself into first place before the prime time.
Currently sitting in third, is looking to boast now an 862 total, trying to beat out Joshua Price. Not only is Adrian Thomas looking to go 9 for 9 and PR his deadlift, but he's looking to solidify himself in that first place position before prime time. Adrian Thomas.
Nothing to it.
Nothing to it but to do it. Adrian Thomas is your leader in the 140 kilogram weight class. And just to recap the open weight classes, we have Stephen Swain in first, Stephen Roundtree and Travis Napier rounding out that podium. Over in the 140, we have Adrian Thomas, Joshua Price, and Trevor Burgess in the 140s. And in the 140 plus, we have Kyle Lockhart, Juan Villarreal, and Marlon Carson in third. We still have primetime lifters left to go. Stay tuned for that. And we will follow up shortly with the medal ceremony for these lifters that just competed in this session. Thank you all for joining. My name is Kevin Serrano. I was joined by Alex Walters, and we'll
See you in
all
about an hour.
time.
Prime time starts at 5 p.m. See you in about an hour, guys.
Get access to world-class coaching in real time from anywhere. Whether in a small group setting or one-on-one, our coaches are in your ear during your training sessions, watching every rep and correcting every mistake.
introduce them to you and also to invite you to be a part of that advancement process. So today, Wes Zunker, please join me. Wes was the chief referee over on Platform 1, and what that involves to advance from an international category 2, which Wes is, you can see he's got a blue tie. That indicates that his referee status as an international referee. We, the jury, the three of us, were watching to see, do we agree, not agree with his calls? And it requires a minimum passing score. So today, ladies and gentlemen, Wes has passed. He is going to be advancing from category 2. He will be moving up to category 1, which is indicated, which is our highest level of international referee, which is the red tie. So I invite you, please put your hands together, because as he does this, yes. Hold on. So let me just finish up really quickly. With his advancement as a referee, he's contributing back to the athletes, contributing back to the sport with his knowledge, his expertise, and his time. So thank you very much, Wes, for staying with it, because this is a well-earned advancement in officiating and officialing. Thank you. I'm glad I could be a part of that. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to give out the medals now. Our first category, big round of applause for our medals presenter, Jackie Kenjerski out of Ohio, former power lifter, now a sneaker model. All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the first category, men's raw junior, 140 kilo weight class. In fifth place, Say Francis. Say Francis. In fourth place, Chris Berry. Say, what are you going, camping for the weekend? This guy's got more luggage than a swamp full of alligators. And the bronze medal goes to Benjamin Yoder. Benjamin Yoder. All right. And the silver medal, Adrian Thomas. Is he coming? Here he comes. Is that him or not? All right, and in first place, Nathan Wilhelm. Men's Raw Junior 140 plus kilo weight class. Bronze medal, Matt Setani Hennick. Silver medal, Jason Siciliano. The silver bar, number 2. And in first place, Kevin Gonzalez Sanchez. Men's Raw Masters 1. Masters 1 means they're in their 40s. 125 kilo weight class. Fourth place, Zachary George. Here he comes from Boston Barbell. And the bronze medal, Mark Leonard. Silver medal, Lee Wells. And in first place, Isaac Pedrotti. All right, let me make a quick announcement. There are certain weight classes that we will not announce the winners yet because we have another session starting at, I believe it's 5 o'clock. Is that right, Jackie? 5 o'clock? We have the evening, the prime time session starts at 5 o'clock. So if there are any individuals in those weight classes that still have to lift, we can't announce the winners yet. For example, the Masters 140 kilo weight class right now, Samuel Thermidor is in first place, but we got a couple of lifters that are lifting tonight, so we can't give out the medals until all the lifters in the respective weight classes have lift. Jude Cozell is also up in the running, but we can't give out his medal yet until we find out after everyone in the 125 kilo weight class list. Does that make sense to you all? So we got a few lifters that are going to have to wait till after this prime time. But in the meantime, we have some other categories that we can continue on with. Men's Raw Masters 2, 125 kilo weight class. In fifth place, Christopher Allen. In fourth place, Christopher Delacarpini. The bronze medal, Fuang Nguyen. Silver medal, Charles Van Valkenburg. Silver medal, Charles. And in first place, Todd Hale. One, Jackie. Men's Raw Masters 240 kilo weight class. First place, Sean Essig. A nice final pull, by the way, Sean. Give me a round of applause for Sean. I've known him for a long time. Men's Raw Masters 2 140 plus kilo weight class. He got a world record bench today. Big round of applause for Callistus Schissel out of American Strength Barbell. What? First place, yeah. Sorry. First place. Did you hear that, Jackie? Give me another round of applause to the Minnesotan lifter. Men's Raw Masters 3 125 kilo weight class. Silver medal, John Murphy. And while he's making his way up, the gold medal, Joe Kunzman. Give them another round of applause. Flip your medal around. Flip your medal around. John, flip your medal around. All right, now let's get another shot. Jackie. Men's Raw Masters 4. That means he's in his 70s. And he's pulling some big weight, man, for a guy in his 70s. 125 kilo weight class in first place, my friend, Royce Saunders. Where is he? At the early bird special? Oh, he's right behind me. Good to see you again, Royce. Don't let him jump up there. As soon as he gets up there, I want to hear everybody again. And how about a big round of applause for John? That's Royce Saunders. Jackie, watch him on the way down, will you? All right, the next category we're going to get into is the teen category. Teen 2, 100. Teen 2 means you're either 16 or 17. Congratulations again, man. 125 kilo weight class in first place, Ian McCain. Give Ian another round of applause. Jackie. Men's Raw Teen 3, 125 kilo weight class. That means you're either 18 or 19. In fifth place, Cody Cyans. Cody. In fourth place, Evan Wessels. The bronze medal, Evan Wessels, is that you? Okay. Bronze medal, Christian Behrens. the silver medal. Hey, Jude Tozel.
Way to go, man.
And in first place, Stefan Roundtree. And okay, hey, fellas, that's all there is. Men's Raw Teen 3, 140 kilo weight class, silver medal, Noah Verduzco. And in first place, Christian Santiago. Christian, there he comes. Give the boys another round of applause. Men's Raw Teen 3, 140 plus kilo weight class. In first place, Malachi Smith. What time is it, Jackie? What 30? Do they have time to come up there for a few photos? All right, yeah, folks, you got about, hold on, Raw Teen 2, 140. No, it's not on here. Well, it would be after Raw Teen. That's 125. It would be after 125. Raw Teen 3, 140. What, are we missing that? That's Masters. It's all Masters. All right. The primetime session starts at 5 o'clock, but we got a few moments. It's only 4:28. If anybody in the audience, family, friends, and relatives, if you want to come up in front of the banner, the Raw Nationals banner, with your lifter and get a photo, you're more than welcome to do that right now. So come on up. Don't be shy if you want to get a photo. Just do it fast because we got to set up for this evening's competition. Wait a second. All right, take pictures. Go ahead, do it. Oh, we're waiting for a missing category. We don't do the open until tonight. After all the rest of the open lifters lift. Starts at 5 o'clock. It should be over at about 8 o'clock. If you want to come back, you can see where you stand at that point in time. But we got to wait till all of the open lifters lift.